Good morning. Need to mute your stuff. Good day, everyone. Sorry. All right. All right. Good day, everyone. My name is Janet Monday, and I welcome you all to today's session of Hack365 Global. Today's topic focuses on the mind game, psychology behind social engineering. I believe that for us to be here, we have at least a little knowledge of what social engineering is all about. But this session will help us enlighten us more and on how attackers exploit human behavior using techniques like phishing, pretexting, baiting, and so on. And most importantly, you're going to learn how to defend against them in today's session. So I advise you all to take your notes. There will be a question and answer session at the end of the practical session where the trainer will attend to all your questions. So please be attentive, and if there's any issue you want us to wait to attend to that cannot wait till the end of the session, you can indicate in the comment section if there's something you're not clear on. Maybe the instructor was not loud enough, or probably there's a line you did not pick. So you can just let us know at the comment section. Also, please kindly follow us on all our social media pages so that you will get timely updates on the next topic we are treating. If we have new events coming up, if we are cooking something new that you want to be a part of. So kindly follow us on our pages to stay updated. Also, if this is your first time joining us today and you don't have an account on Hack365 Global yet, you can indicate also on the comment section. Our team will guide you on how to go about that. So without further ado, I'll welcome our trainer for today that will take us through the mind games. See you all at the end of the session. Bye.
Can can you? Right. So today we'll be still working on mining games and we're taking into the psychology behind social engineering attacks. And I believe we're all familiar with what social engineering is. Actual to calculations. So we'll just take a dive into social engineering, how it works, the methodology, what is social engineering. Now, social engineering is a form of manipulation in cybersecurity. where attackers exploit human psychology rather than technical vulnerabilities in order to gain unauthorized access to systems, data, or physical locations. Now, instead of the regular, when you mention cybersecurity to people, the very first thing that comes to their heads are technicalities, which front of the laptop, doing something crazy. But social engineering is another aspect of cybersecurity that exploits human psychology itself. It's not necessarily expertise in a particular field or area. It's more of a psychology exploit. In order for you to gain the same thing that a technical hacker will definitely going for, which is, of course, unauthorized access to systems, data, or even physical locations. Now, instead of directly attacking computers, social engineering relies on deception. So, relies on deception, persuasion, and emotional triggers, such as one, fear, urgency, trust, or curiosity to trick individuals into divulging sensitive information, clicking malicious links, or performing actions that compromise security. Now, instead of you attacking a bunch of servers or gaining unauthorized access, attacking a bunch of infrastructures or physical infrastructures, what you rely on this time around is the ability to deceive, to persuade, or to trigger emotions in victims. Emotions such as fear, urgency, trust, and even curiosity. You trick them into divulging information that they shouldn't divulge because this information are sensitive information. Now, we then divulging information and then clicking malicious and then performing actions that compromise their own security. Now, social engineering is not just about tools or technology. It is about manipulating the human mind. Attackers exploit cognitive biases, emotions, and social behaviors to bypass technical defenses and to achieve their goals. Now, this simply means that the whole basis of social engineering or the strength of the social engineer is his ability to manipulate the human mind properly. So we want to find loophole that we can use, such as emotions, biases, or whatever the case is, in order to bypass the technical defense on the human. So understanding these psychological principles will help us recognize, resist, and defend against any form of manipulation. Now, what are the key psychological principles in social engineering? First things first, we have authority. Now, authority is a social engineering principle where attackers exploit people's natural tendency to obey figures of power or trust. Now, this works mostly in organizations where there is a boss and then there are the staffs. And this point of basis where the staffs are obligated to obey the instructions of the boss. So that's authority at play there. So an attacker can override this particular principle to pose as the boss in order to make the staff do something they're not supposed to do because of the authority that comes with administering cyber threats. This is because authority will lay emphasis on the purpose of the person and carry the complaints. So definitely, by impersonating someone with perceived authority, such as a company executive, an IT administrator, a law enforcement officer, or a government official, the attacker creates a psychological pressure that makes the target more likely to comply without question. So imagine a company executive who an email from your boss telling you to do something, you might most likely not want to question your boss, going to be the CEO demanding an urgent wire transfer, or pose as an IT support requesting a password reset. Now, because most people fear consequences of disobeying authority or they want to appear cooperative, to disobey authority and not to appear cooperative. Now, this technique is highly effective as it can be used very much in enforcing normal security awareness because it's coming from someone that at a higher authority. Second principle we're looking at is urgency and scarcity. Now, first things first, urgency is the tactic where attackers will create a false sense of immediate action to pressure victims into making quick decisions without thinking critically. So it's more like you're mounting pressure on the victims for them to do something with immediate effect without thinking critically. For example, telling someone that the account is going to get blocked in the next 30 minutes. That gives the victim a sense of urgency act fast. So when it's in a situation where it does not think physically and fall for the trust position engineering. So by presenting a situation as time sensitive, such as your account will be locked in 30 minutes, unless you verify the password or approve this transfer now, or the deal with done. The attacker would exploit stress and fear to override rational judgment. What is rational judgment? The rational judgment is the ability for the victim to think properly. Take for instance, an email is asking for your vision. Rational judgment should let you know that your bank will not ask for your vision over an email. But in the case where urgency has been implemented as part of the principle for this particular attack, you might not want to lose your person independently to verify your acceptability. Without this business of urgency on the victim, then the victims feel rushed and they are more likely to evaluate warning signs and comply with malicious requests. Urgency works because people are conditioned to respond when they believe because they believe in consequences. That's why urgency works or how urgency works. The move is scarcity. Scarcity is the principle attackers use to manipulate targets by convincing them that something valuable is limited in availability. This could be access to an exclusive opportunity, a limited time offer, or even a scarce resource like free software license, or even drug. For example, a phishing email might claim that only the first 15 users click a link would receive a bonus or a reward. The perception of scarcity triggers fear of missing out because you believe there is scarcity in a particular item that is being made public. So pushing individuals to act fast without questioning the legitimacy of the request. In institutional engineering, scarcity is effective because people are more motivated to act when the opportunities are rare, when resources get in there. Reciprocity. This is a social engineering principle that exploits the human tendency to return favors or kindness. Attackers use this offering something that appears to be helpful, valuable, or even generous, such as a free software, a gift card, or an insider information, in order to create a sense of obligation. Once the victim feels neglected, they are more likely to comply with the attacker's request, even if it compromises security. For example, an attacker might share a useful document loaded with malware or offer free access to premium tools, then later request login details or sensitive information in return. This is so in a situation like this, you can feel obligated to do so because you application or who are most likely to trust or follow actions that appear to be widely accepted or endorsed by others. Now, in social engineering, this might involve showing fake testimonials, fabricated statistics, or pretending that everyone else has already complied. For instance, the phishing email might claim that 90% of the colleagues have already updated their credentials to don't be left out. Similarly, attackers might pose as part of the lab group chat or an internal mailing list to make their presence seen because humans are wired to follow the crowd, especially in a certain situation. Social proof can effectively reduce suspicion and push victims to act without question. So this is a situation where an attacker uses a large majority of information to make people want to. For example, to tell you 100 people have purchased this thing, 100 people have downloaded this particular movie, and then because you heard that 100 people have done this, you also want to do it also. That's called the social proof, or the immediate statistics, which can be created in influences to keep the score. Then, lastly, we have commitment and consistency. This is a principle where attackers exploit people's natural desire to stay consistent with their past and or actions. So once someone has made a small commitment, they are more likely to agree to larger requests later to remain consistent with their initial choice. In social engineering, an attacker might first get a victim to agree to something minor. For example, clicking a harmless survey link and confirming their work email. Take advantage of that push victims deeper into compromise. They just like giving the person attempts, give something that actually legit. This is because that the hoping experience. I want to emotional triggers that are commonly exploited in social engineering. First things first, we have greed. For example, being a free iPhone. That's greed. So it's commonly exploited in social engineering. Second of all, we have curiosity. Take, for instance, leaked salaries of staff open to you. Someone can give you a very, very interesting piece of information. You can tell you this to know more about what I'm saying. I know the believe it. You also have sympathy. Tell me, I lost my wallet for God. This is also a way of waiting someone to fall for betrayal and then fear of loss, your bank account will be frozen. This is urgency as it here. Trust in a relationship, tending to be a friend or a colleague. This is also happening in threat in marriage. Now, we have some of the real world scenarios that actually fit social engineering. First things first, as common as it is, phishing. The concept of exploiting fear and urgency, for example, that come to close, we don't do blah 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 blah. And that is phishing. We also have pretexting, exploiting authority. For example, I'm from the IT and I need the password for a particular piece of action. That's pretexting. We have baiting, exploiting curiosity and greed. Infected USB videos, salary the victim or something that looks like a juicy piece of information. That's baiting, because you're giving the person something that will catch his interest. The last is dating. So dating is exploiting trust or social proof, keeping behind someone with a bag, for example, working behind someone to get access to a particular infrastructure. That's still dating. So dating is more of a physical procedure and social. We also have, I move to the defenses, how to train the mind against manipulation. One, we have awareness. First things first, we want to know the common tricks of identifier. Second of all, always pause and verify. Step back before acting on any against your emotion. Thirdly, question motives. Why am I being asked this question? Or why am I being asked to do this? Fourthly, cross check authority. Contact the person of the department directly. Five, practice skepticism. Trust but always verify. Now, as part of the defenses, use species simulation and awareness platforms. These are recommended for safe and consented training. So platforms like Know Before co-penetration can be for a particular software domain or whatever the case is. So this can be used to run contented that simulations, measure click, issue click rate for managers. We also have the SPF, DKIM, DMARC authentication and policy enforcement. So this is it's important to teach how DMARC failure reports help spot spoofing attacks. This is because one of the major trumpers is email spoofing or social engineering, email spoofing. Now it's important to understand that secure email gateways, point, Minecraft, Microsoft Defender 365 can be used to block malicious attachments, right URLs, perform time of click checks, but also when it's in case we want to know that major records such as SQL, PKI, DMARC, authentication, and policies should be securely enforced on any application for sake of security. Assessment. So tools like multi-goal, showdown, harvester, public social media sessions used by defenders to map exposed corporate assets and identify what attackers might see. For a class, you can show how attackers public information and how to engage public exposure. Also, tools like social engineering and other red team frameworks exist, only to be used for awareness and for authorized testers with a strict rule of engagement. You're advised not to do without explicit authorization. And then that concludes the theoretical aspect of decision to class. I'll move to the practical session. Now, how room for questions on all we've discussed so far. Questions? Any questions?
So that brings us to the end of the theoretical aspects for today. Please drop your questions before we dive into Hack 365 practical labs. So kindly drop your questions in the comment section. We are here to take your questions.
Okay. Questions.
Yeah, you're not connected. Yeah, how do we join time?
Yes, yes, yes. So, like, how do you do this? Like, the simulate the goal instead of should you? But the question so the phishing simulation is interactive with that. How will this simulation as paradigm role? Okay, so sounds like before cannon fish goldfish also dealt with fishing simulation. What this platform do is they help you simulate an actual fishing um, exercise. So what I mean is, for example, if an organization registers with those platforms, say for instance, we just tell them our group of an organization registers with this platform. All the organization does is submit query and email addresses of all their staff and the email address of the person that signed it. So what this platform do is they actually simulate an actual fish. What I mean is they send actual malicious email to this particular stance of a particular organization. They actually represent an actual phishing attempt. But this time around is a trusted application for the trusted platform. Because it's a platform that's actually entirely clear. Why this helps is because from this platform you can actually open people who click the links, people who actually have submitted to people who their info, people that don't on it. And then this application or these platforms give an assignment upon point of this platform. So what I mean is if you follow for the phishing exercise and then you do this application have already been negative for them to say, for you for like that. So this are what this integration platform to. We have quite a number of them like before coming to which wider wiser is also there, then of course there is usage. So I don't know if that answers the question. Any other question? Any question? Okay, so we'll just move to Hack 365 and loading. That's one way from this is with 5 minutes. It's for 5 minutes. Listen for a couple of minutes to try to find this. The one with the
Yes, I didn't want to log in. Didn't want to connect to my hotspot. Maybe it's not working. So this brother.
Also trying to manage that. I'll move to nutrition category. There are about 10 tasks on the C commonly from. So first things first, we have a task that tells us you have been given two images that appear to be from the Apple Store. Both claim to be related to your Apple account security. One of these emails is legitimate, while other ones is phishing attempts crafted to steal your personal information. Your task is to carefully analyze both emails, checking details such as sender address, links, language formatting, and overall authenticity. Once you identify the phishing email, select it as your answer or submit your choice for the challenge. You have email one. Let's take a look at the first email. Okay. And we have email two. Let's take a look at the second email. So our options here we have select to identify the phishing emails. I will have option A, only email A, option B, email B, option C, both A and B. We don't know what they are. All right, so if you check for this email, you need to take a look at this email. Can we identify if this email is a phishing email? This email. Can we identify if it's a phishing email? And if yes, what are the pointers that show that this email is a phishing email? Remember, this is just one of email we have. We have a link that says, dear user, I request to set your password or unlock your account was made for your application. Example at cloud.com. Continue with this request, please visit the link below on the registration page. Verify your email. If you do not make this change, but you give an unauthorized person have access to your account, please go to Apple ID Apple account to verify your account. Sincerely, Apple support and provide very respectful information. So is this email and a phishing email, and yes, why? Any suggestions from the online and physical organization? Why do you think it's a series? How does it from? What makes it from? Just okay. Okay. So okay, we all agree that this is a phishing email. Right, so let's take a look at this email A. So we can take a look at email B. Take a look at this also. Now, is this also is this a phishing email? If yes, why is this a phishing email? If no, why doesn't it phishing email? We also have most similar to first one. Tickets to analysis to know.
You know what we do. You know, that's what we do. That's what we do.
Welcome. We can put it together. So
I thought you were streaming live.
it's almost alike. So if this one efficient email or not. I think it's like a bit of efficient email. Or anyone online also. Right. So are we? Is it or is it efficient email? Well, this one, I mean, does not actually do with it at all. There's no, there's no there's no urgency. They're not trying to get out experience. This is not just right. So if you go by your conclusion, if you're saying only A is efficient minimum, so if you type only A, then it's your wrong. So meaning that's the answer. I see. E, yeah, yeah. Both of them are not ambitious. Okay, none of them are efficient minimums. So if you go with your final answer, no, you know, none of them. Yeah, and this is like C. It says once you identify the phishing email, select your answer. If we are saying C, then we are saying both of them are malicious. So why are both of them malicious? Yeah, both of them.
Yes, like you say.
Now, both A and B are both phishing emails, meaning that if you take a look at both phishing both emails, they have two email addresses. What I mean is this. If you take a look at here, you have Apple ID dot Apple dot Apple.com, Apple ID dot at ID dot Apple.com. And here you have Apple ID dot Apple.com. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So this emails here does not match the email here. And this occurs for both option A and option B. Here we have Apple at ID dot Apple.com. Here we have Apple ID.
So you get some easily go to phishing.
Both of them are phishing emails. So our correct answer is C. So the next. It says in phishing, the watching for phishing attack target A. Random users globally in specific website open listed by target C. DNS servers directly, D encrypted emails, and it's only thing A, B, C. What do you need to answer for this? Watching for phishing attack. Put all the watching for phishing attack. Random users globally. What about C? Okay, so go by your answer. Random users globally. Okay, can see that it's wrong. So, So, a watching home phishing attack target.
Especially engineering classes, so it's like that kind of.
The watching home phishing attack targets a specific website frequently visited by targets, which is option B. Take for example, let's like that was a popular website so you can look. That's what the watching home attack coming to play. Right, so move to the next now. If you received a new signing alert email claiming that there was a recent login attempt on your account, this email may be a phishing attempt trying to trick you to the information. Carefully review the email and look for suspicious indicators that suggest it is fake. Submit your answers by selecting the area where you believe phishing signs are most obvious. A. The body. B. The sender's email address. C. Destination link. D. Typographical formatting error. I'll take a look at our case study right here. The email, and we have this. Because we have this email packets that comes in, and then it tells us to identify where we think email phishing attempt happens in this particular email. So what gives this email a way to be a phishing email? Where it's coming from, which is no reply, no reply at assembly.com or the other one. Okay, okay, yeah. What is this email going to do to check for type of logical errors, we can check for destination, we can check for content, we can correct what exactly do you want to shipping with. Any suggestions? Yes. Okay. With
What does you want? Yeah, it's remind me of one thing. Going that side, getting caught for that.
suggestions from the
You know you have them.
so first person the account wait from no reply account google.com. Okay, so it says the sender's email address that is coming from B. If you type in B or submit B, you see that it is wrong. Okay, you see the destination email and for the destination email, we have correct.
One over there.
destination email is correct. So it means that for this particular email address, this is the phishing email because this destination address does not match up with my account or the event from this email itself. So yeah, move on. Right, so you receive a text message that appears to be for your boss as you're leaving the office. The message seems urgent and requests immediate action. Your task is to decide the most secure and appropriate response to the situation. Choose the option that best aligns with safe cybersecurity practice. One, call your boss directly to verify the message. B, you check the company's official communication app for communication. You report the message as suspected phishing attempt, or do not let the message leaves negative. And you take a look at the message itself, something like this. Perhaps you are available at the moment. I'm meeting an account call. I'm good to be expecting that maybe to buy some physical chips or buy the stars. Thanks. So what's the option that best allows the safe cybersecurity practice? Before the message is finished, I can report the message that was suspected attempts. It's wrong. So you say we should call our boss and call our boss directly. Correct. So upon receiving the message that says urgent and request action from your boss, the first action should be to call over the verify. Right? Let's move on to classify. The phishing site that uses HTTPS with a valid certificate skill management. What is the best version indicator? A. The site is pure response and proof. B. The site was issued recently to an unknown certificate person. C. The site uses +4.3. D. The site uses JavaScript. B. The site the certificate was issued recently to an unknown certificate person. What does that mean? What's the unknown certificate? What's that mean? It would be meaning the certificate of officially sent to an unknown certificate. What does it mean exactly? How does that prove that it's functional? It is such a bit about them. Yes. I think you what should be sent to on unknown. Yes, right. How do you prepare estimations? What are any possibilities?
That's not like event start. When the should the video start.
What's it? What's it?
So, just to try to see if the issue FSL starts right to the website. So that's the option that you're saying it is, or don't want to explain now.
Want to be sure that you understand that you're picking out.
So we don't want to understand. The certificate authority to the certificates, they are bodies that are recognized and they provide these strict certificates websites for them to have this CPS, right? So they are trusted bodies. So unknown ones are the ones that probably there's no consensus to know what I'm thinking about. So if it's an unknown CA, so that means it's probably not put up somewhere that is not recognized by the general. That would mean that okay, it has an S, but that S is not from the job.
Right. Thank you very much. And let's say the answer and the student correct answer. So I think if you want to contribute something to one of those comparison, just because it's the ID card. So what happens if the ID card is forged? What happens if you don't use Russia the ID card to that position? So move on. What is your thinking? Move to the next. Your AT&T customer and recently read in the news about the data breach affecting AT&T units. Shortly afterward, we received an email claiming to be from AT&T, stating that it's here to help you secure your accounts and asking you to take immediate action. While this email may seem helpful, attackers often use real news events to make phishing emails look more convincing. Carefully analyze the email and look for signs and indicate it may not be ready. After reviewing, select the area where you can assist for phishing. The overall content and the audience of the email be similar to know and see the destination. The typographical and format error. So to take a look at the email and the okay, so for this email we have and says we highly recently expressed the damage at third party marketing service provider. Information that was compromised with no increased credit card information. Blah 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 blah. To fully protect yourself against further compromise, please take a minute to secure your account below. Thank you for your understanding. So where the risk poses the likelihood of a phishing account from this email address.
So can you zoom into the yeah, at this point?
So yeah, answers please. Sir, send us the email about send us the email. Okay. So we just type in. I hope that should be correct. Yes, that's correct. So send us the email. An email that's not correct. So that gives you the indication that it's further also move on to the next. Receive an email that appears to come from the referrals in service department, claiming that your credit card needs to be verified to confirm the recent income. The legitimate hotels rarely question sensitive or request for sensitive information treatment, which makes it a potential phishing attempt aimed at stealing your payment details. The task is to carefully read the entire and pay full attention to the sender address, wordings, embedded links, and the raw formats. And once you analyze, select the area you can spot signs that this payment is not legitimate. So almost I will just so here is our email. Dear guests, we are writing to you today to remind you that your reservation will be cancelled if you do not verify your card within 12 hours. To verify your card, please follow these steps and you have everything here. So what gives payment a way to be efficient? Content and data. Okay. Any other suggestion? Any other suggestion? Any Avoiding actual of message. Okay. Stop. And carry.
There is a complicated image. When you go over there, do you get that printed? You go over this one.
No. Okay. Okay.
We select the someone said it's not a volume.
Like, that's option A. Option A is the overall content of the image. Your ground with the platform. So you go for the wordings and the tone option C. That's correct. So the correct answer is tone and button of yeah. An attacker registers a lookalike domain and sets up SPF to click and DMARC correctly to send phishing email. This technique is known as a famous technology domain shadow. Look at the communication. The watching on attack. So let's look at like the main phishing. Check this like the main phishing. Sorry. People like the main phishing. This is because you're setting up the house. Everything set up on a proper email security. So it's called a lookalike domain phishing. Hence, using for having the SQL detail. Do you know what the SQL detail is? Do you not understand? These reports being redirected to a fake banking site, even though the type the correct share money, what attack is likely happening? A, typo spotting, B, farming, C, watching for. B, phishing. Funnel. Or back spotting. You C, watching for. Without clear things. So try C. Wrong. Type A. Cycle spotting. Wrong. Final attempt. Wrong. I said what? No. Oh, that means the answer is going to be yes. That means the answer is wrong. Actually. Okay. So the answer is family, actually. Okay. On to the next. An email claims to be called the CEO purchases. The from name matches the CEO. The actual email address CEO.com as fast email.com. Which phishing method is this? A display name speaking. B, SPF online bypass. C, homograph attack. D, domain hijacking. B, SPF online bypass. Yeah.
Is it correct or why would you do something different?
A, display name speaking.
The fraud name likely their actual email address is and
Yes.
minutes. Yeah.
Display name speaking. That's the correct examining SPF alignment bypass was done. So it's called display name speaking because we spoofed the actual interactive platforms. Received an email claiming to be a message request from LinkedIn. It's kind that someone wants to connect to your sender. Why it appears to come from LinkedIn, attackers often use fake link notifications to trick users into clicking and stealing their credentials. The job is to carefully analyze and take close attention to everything after a link to select areas, clearly spot signs and stealing the phishing attempt. So good. Okay, here we have for what to keep this email away to be for where it's coming from. Okay. Okay. It's coming from okay. Same. Okay. Yeah, same. You will also check the name, the referred destination name, the wordings and tone of the message. Please have the vertical, you say B and B correct answer. Yes. Okay. That's good. We are getting better at time. That's good. Okay. Attackers post efficient page on a legitimate cloud service. HTTPS storage.googleapi.com /tablet. What is the primary detection challenge? A. TLS inspection. B. Content is hosted on the trusted domain. C. SQL and PKI records. D. Expired certificate usage. C. SPF and PKI records. Okay. B. Content is hosted on the trusted domain. Finally, on the current. SPF and PKI. Okay. So from what we are saying, we say the primary detection challenge would be C, which is SPI, PI, and FI. And the next one. So most person said B, content is listed on the trusted domain. And that's correct. So the primary detection challenge in this case would be that the content is posted on the trusted domain. Together. Together. All right. So
Detection challenge. The challenge.
what is the question? Attacker launches a phishing campaign through compromised email accounts within your company, sending malicious links to other employees without triggering external threat alert. What is this attack known as? Internal phishing. B is C. What will C what will go in the shadow? Okay. You said just did not compromise. Say B. Okay. And we see that it's wrong. Stay there. Okay. It's loud phishing. That's correct. It's loud phishing. The Microsoft user and you receive an email stating that your account has been upgraded to Microsoft Premium and no extra cost. Email encourages you to click the link to activate the just upgrade after you doing select area, which you can tell both sides that this email notification at all. Okay. So once again. Okay. All right. So what gives this email a way to be a phishing email. Solutions. Good. Really super upgrade. Okay. You don't have much more than that. Okay, then it's a good one here. Okay. Any other there was other thing also. Okay. Unexpected upgrade. Which is I type in that please do what's it. Okay. Very well. Okay. You're a frequent Uber user and you suddenly receive an email notification about an unlocked account. The message claims that someone accessed your account from a link and not able to secure your account immediately. Attackers often use fixed alerts like this to create panic and trick you that into clicking malicious links or give you link information. Carefully review this thing and spot the phishing attempts. Okay. What would you say the phishing attempt is? Sender and
Yeah.
so you also okay. Okay. You're welcome. Bye. Yeah. Something. And which the I'm all along. All along. So what the answer? I forgot to
Yeah.
Okay. Typographical errors for digital links. Yeah.
Um,
Hmm? Yeah, one.
One more try. I was thinking,
Yeah.
it's I get this working out. It is. So correct.
That was so tricky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Final answer. No, 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 no. This was good. Yeah. And it's correct.
What's going on?
Yeah. We're going to continue on.
On the, on the, how back what's in there here to help about
This was. The checking box. What are we checking? Right? We check. Oh, we do this. I'm applying to the building. Probably just results. You know, that's the treatment of the whole as of the industry. That is fine. Situation where something is fake, when it's looking like it's the original. Means originality. Alright.
well say that statement
Yeah.
as being something saying skills but that's not technology.
Are you sure?
Actually, I should.
Are you sure it's better?
And how do you know that that's wrong?
Okay,
I don't think actually follows over by the movement.
so the thing is, most times when we want to check how it matches with the destination itself. For example, if you look at the LinkedIn this thing we have, the LinkedIn scenario we had, we said that it was the same thing, but they were the same. I mean, if you from both the sender and the receiver.
How will you tell this?
Because exactly because of the typing in the email. What else is both the sender and the receiver had the same email, but they are both if you understand. Now, most times, how you know that it's how do I put it now? It's wrong. Is that there is no match between the two or where it's going to. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm seeing Kuba.com one time, but forward slash error two as destination. As destination.
Then you guys are saying,
Yeah.
what is this?
Like, so that's the destination. That's the destination.
Okay, you tap the link if you hover over it.
Yes.
Oh, that's why. Because I asked, like, can we see the link if we go come over it? So you can buy that.
Yes.
I see that now.
I think it's future. Future is
Yeah.
so we can just lastly, because we're done with this guy, we can see how we do. For sake of awareness of the sake of practicality, we can just look or simulate a phishing simulation. So once you use social engineering, it's okay. You can find this of course on the time before I'm using Taros for this exercise. I'm using Taros for this exercise. And yes, want to perform a social engineering attack. So if you go with option one, we're looking at website attack vectors. So we go to option two. And since we're looking at how we will get credentials from people, three credentials, we'll go with the two credential attack. And what to do inside. So we're using option two. Like it asks us for an IP address for the post back, analyst. Now, what I'll do here is feed in my own IP address because I'm the one with so I'll feed it back to me. So what I will do is type in 10 dots here so that 10 happens to be my IP address. And it tells me to enter the URL to close. So basically what this tool does is this tool has the ability to clone any URL entirely. As well as yes, any URL actually can clone with this tool. So what we'll be doing is we will okay. So for the sake of this exercise, I would want to use tests web from one web. No, I want to use the test web from this domain, this application. This is actually open source. You can access it anywhere. More mathematics. So we'll look at the sign up page. You see that there's a page that gives us the field to sign up and login or whatever the case is. Now, so what I want to clone this particular page for the sake of the phishing demonstration. So so this is the page that we're going to be cloning. And then on the part where we are to enter the URL to clone, you see that tells us, okay, now this cloning the website, this capability and boom, and here's the financial harvester is running on for 80. Information will be displayed to you as it arrives to you. Now, so what I will do is I will go to the web and type in my IP address. And when I do that, you notice something. It loads the page for me. The page I think. I really get one. But then now, so what we'll do now, what the first line of action is to provide it your password. Yeah, I'm just going to type in admin. But I want you to pay close attention to something. I want you to pay close attention to the get request itself, the link itself. As you can see, it's my IP address. Now, what happens when I log in? Something happens. First thing that happens is I get a prompt from my terminal that feeds in the credentials I logged in from the internet. But guess what? This reverts back to the original detail. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So this just explains how phishing works entirely. Because the first was okay, but this is not the actual internet, this is the actual web itself. So now you can so what I just did there was just clone the page, give you the page, give you the credential, go to credential. And you might just just log into the application twice or 3 times. You might like actually fail competition. Or you actually have competition. Yes, there you go. What if you compare? What can I make? I will actually account now. Just that URL on the internet. I can't check the URL. It's not that's the most but I'm not going to feed my IP address. I'm going to bring my IP address to trust. But then that's where new security comes in. Take for instance, if I decide to clone, the only reason why this happens so cheaply is because this application has no email security. If I decide to clone Facebook.com, I will clone it, but I'm not going to have a look back. The reason is because Facebook has its PIM, SPF, and all those things policies enforced. So it will clone those applications, but I'm not going to have an actual link back. So it will not work. So this site cloning will not actually work for applications like that. That's why every application needs to put email security into consideration for phishing. An application that does not have security will definitely fall for this, or lead the partner something like this. So I would say things the practicalities behind pushing the game. Any question?
So what are some applications that we have let's see, in your link, what do you use to get yourself in phishing?
Email security. Enforcing parallel coding. Enforcing policies like the SPL, like I also mentioned. You can easily check that on different channels from if your application is up to date with email security, you always do that. And then also phishing awareness of police on the because social engineering is not just the only there's so many things that we are not showing. So for site cloning, SPM records, you want to ensure that SPM records will be there, the DMAP records are up to date to clone the site cloning. Well, for the actual attack that comes where the victims actually fall into things like pretexting, like that's where phishing awareness is more important. That's where it gets to. understand the different processes of phishing and phishing simulation also known organizations. We want to simulate phishing as often as possible to make the information safe. Maybe power phishing and the attacks can be very, very important. So yes, that's on that. And with that, I think we'll be able to explain properly and well enough phishing domain and how it works. So we can wrap it up here if we have no more questions. Any questions from anybody online? If not, we call it an afternoon.
Hey, online participants. So we are done with our practical section and we are waiting your questions. Are there some aspect of the practicals we do not understand and you would like us to take you through it? Now is that time where we can discuss further. Thank you for the questions. Guys, please drop your questions here. What does it take in the question? Yes. Questions. Will bring us to the end of today's section. I hope you guys enjoyed because we present here had an amazing session and it was really insightful for us here. So, if any question comes up later and you need clarifications, you can always reach us through the WhatsApp community